All right, people, what's up, everyone, and welcome to another box office wrap-up video. And the weekend has concluded, of course. Usually I do these on Sunday, but I'm doing it on Monday because I didn't do it yesterday, obviously. And also, we get to see the actuals, which is the actual amount of monies that the movies made throughout the weekend. From the exact dollar amount, not cent wise, so they don't put that in there. So we don't know if like a movie made like $12 million and 4 cents. We don't know that, but we do know exact dollar amounts from whatever. You know what I mean? I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. So it's good to maybe do these on Monday. So maybe from now on I'll do them on Monday, unless there's like a special case where a movie freaking makes like $5 billion or some shit. I don't know, like Avengers or something like that, or maybe even like Spider-Man next week. Maybe, I don't know. So anyway, let's get to it, okay? Because let's just get to it. I don't have any reason why. So what won? Was it Toy Story? Was it Child's Play? Was it Anna? Do you even know what Anna is? Probably not. It came out this weekend. Could it have been Men in Black? Men in Black was number one last week. It made no money, but it was number one last week. Could it have possibly beaten Toy Story 4? No. How much did Toy Story 4 make is the real question here. Let's find out right now. Boom! So that is our top 20 for the weekend, and I am excited to get through it. So let's get through it, okay? Let's get to it so we can get through it, baby. All right, so number one is, of course, Toy Story 4. No question there. Child's Play came in number two, which is not bad. But Toy Story 4, number one, with almost $121 million this weekend, which was, I think, only about $10 million more than the last movie. Actually, no, I think the last movie did 108 or 110. I can't remember. If it did 110, then it's almost $11 million more than that movie, which is a little disappointing, not gonna lie, because I wanted that movie to do way better, because Toy Story 4 deserves it. It's a movie that everybody was, saying, oh, we don't need this, we don't want this, why are you doing this? And then it happened, and everybody's like, fuck, that was good. That movie is amazing. It's my number one movie of this year so far, which is funny because we actually recorded a podcast last week that I'm not going to post until later this week, where we did our top 10 movies of 2019 so far. It was before Toy Story came out, so that's already dated. At least for me it is. But just remember, when you watch that video, if you do watch that video, my number one is really Toy Story. So just think of everything else as number 2 to 11, I guess. But anyway, Toy Story 4, amazing film. Did really well. Worldwide, actually, I think it opened to one of the biggest Pixar openings ever worldwide. That's not really fair to say, though, because most Pixar movies don't open up the same time as America in the rest of the world. So that's not really exactly fair. I could be wrong there, but I think Incredibles 2 didn't really open up in many places when it first came out in America. So Incredibles 2 has the highest animated movie opening ever, let alone, Pixar. Animated movie opening ever. And I was hoping Toy Story 4, I loved Incredibles 2. Incredibles 1 is one of my favorite Pixar films, but my fingers were crossed that Toy Story 4 could dominate that, but sadly it didn't. But one thing I will say is that I think Toy Story 4 will have better legs than Incredibles 2 did, because Incredibles 2 kind of dropped off, kind of like how a superhero movie does. It did incredibly well. It did, pun. It stayed in there. Don't get me wrong. It only dropped like 50% or whatever. But I think Toy Story 4 could manage like a 40% drop in its second week, and then maybe like 30-something%. It just keep trickling down until it's just, I don't know, it's past 500 million or something like that. I'm hoping it does extremely well. I'm hoping past $1 billion. I have a feeling it's going to. I think it's going to hold in there, especially in this week where we only have like a horror movie, and yesterday we have Annabelle and yesterday. That's the only 2 movies really coming out this week. Next week we have Spider-Man, though, so that could dampen its. It's still different enough where kids might want to see Toy Story over Spider-Man, but I think that might actually take away some of its business. But it did well, $244 million worldwide on its opening weekend. Pretty good. Nothing to scoff at for sure. Let me just zoom in. Okay. Child's Play did number 2. Not bad, considering it only cost $10 million. Not too terrible. I'm sure the studio was expecting a little bit more, but that's about what I expected. And Child's Play, don't get me wrong, is not a a small little horror series, but it's not something that's huge. Obviously, the last two movies that came out in the franchise were straight to DVD, and Seed of Chucky also, I think, bombed at the box office. That's why we didn't see Chucky for a very long time. So, not the biggest series out there, but everybody knows who Chucky is. So much so that Steven Spielberg put him in his freaking movie, Ready Player One. It's fucking Chucky. That's a good scene. So yeah, it did okay. Did it open up worldwide? Let me see real quick. No, it did not. So it only opened up in America so far, but I could see that doing pretty well in foreign markets because horror movies usually tend to do pretty well. Pet Sematary did pretty well. I think it made like another $60-70 million worldwide, or foreign, I should say. I keep saying worldwide when I mean foreign. So that movie did pretty well. So I have a feeling Child's Play is going to hold in there for a little while. And, you know, even if it times its budget by 6, if it only makes $60 million worldwide, it's still not bad. I mean, it's whatever, it's fine. Aladdin is number 3. That movie is dropping. I'm hoping what Aladdin is doing right now is what Toy Story 4 will do, where it's dropping so small, just like little increments, just little. 23% drop, $13 million, $288 million worldwide. I mean, worldwide, in America, domestic. And I believe worldwide it is at $813 million. That is incredible. That could get to 900 million. I don't think a billion, but it's pretty good. That's way better than I thought it was going to do. I thought it was going to do like 600, top off there, and that would have been good enough. But no, it's doing extremely well. So Disney is having a very good summer, that's for sure. Even though Toy Story 4 went under expectations, it's still doing well. And technically, Dark Phoenix wasn't even really theirs. So, I mean, it was, but they didn't put money into it while it was... I guess maybe they put money into the marketing and maybe some of the reshoots. So they probably did put money into it, but they didn't put too much money into it themselves. So they might be okay. But yeah, Avengers is still there, making money. So yeah, whatever. All right, so number 4 is Men in Black International. Dropped almost 65% in its second weekend. Whoo, doggy, that's a bomb. $52 million so far in America, and I think worldwide it's not doing that great. Worldwide it's at $182 million. It cost around $90 to $110 million to make. There's like there's differing art, like differing. No, I'm sorry, not differing. I keep seeing the budget is either 90 or 110 million. I keep seeing differing I guess budgets. I don't know. They're like news articles. I was gonna say news articles, but I didn't read news articles. I keep seeing everywhere about this movie that it's in between 90 to 110 million. I have not seen the movie yet, and I'm not even gonna lie. I'm probably not gonna see it. There was nothing about it that really made me go, yeah. And I love the original Men in Black, and I really liked the third one. Second one's poo-poo. But I even liked the cartoon when I was a kid. But yeah, this is just... And nothing about this made me go, yeah. It didn't even look like Men in Black to me. It just looked like action movie with some Men in Black weapons here and there. That's what it looked like. It was just like... I don't know. It looked bad to me. All right, so number 5 is Secret Life of Pets 2. That one dropped pretty big, 58%. Obviously, it's because it lost some theaters and also because of Toy Story. I could not give a shit less about Secret Life of Pets. It didn't do well the first weekend, and it's going to be, I think, Illumination's first, like, big financial disappointment. Like, yeah. I don't know about bomb because technically the budget was pretty small in this, considering it's an animated movie. I think it was like $70-80 million. And I think worldwide it's doing okay. Let me check real quick, make sure that's true, because I could be wrong. Let me see. Men in Black International. No. Secret Life of Pets. Let's see. It's done 194 right now on a budget of 80 million. It's more than double. I'm sure they had a lot of marketing though. I don't know. That might be a bomb, actually, thinking about it. It could do really well foreign after it starts opening up in more foreign markets, I'm sure. Most animated movies don't open up at the same time as America. So there could be more later on. Toy Story 4 was like the exception. I don't think it opened up in every market for Toy Story 4, but it opened up in a lot of them. All right, so Rocket Man is number 6. That's still doing really well. Only dropped 40%, so that's pretty good. $77 million so far, and worldwide it's done 153 on a $40 million budget. That's really good. I'm glad, because that was a great film. That's in my top 5, I believe. Number 7 is John Wick. This makes me really happy because that movie only dropped 36% in its, I think, 6th weekend. Let me see. I think it's 6th. Yeah, 6th weekend. And it's up to 156 million in America and almost 300 million worldwide. So John Wick is a fucking franchise now, baby. I mean, I guess it already was because of the second movie, but this movie solidified it. Opening huge in its first weekend and then just sticking in there and just doing well. Everybody loves it. And everybody loves Keanu now because, of course, of the cyberpunk stuff and him doing an interview with all those puppies and just like everybody loves Keanu. I love Keanu. I've been loving Keanu. I've been a fan of Keanu Reeves before it was cool. I was also a fan of John Wick before it was cool. I saw John Wick 3 times in theaters when it first came out because I loved it so much. I remember hearing about that movie at like some festival. Everybody saying it's badass. I was like, oh shit, I can't wait to see this. And I was like one of the few people in my theater when I first saw it. Luckily, the second and third times there were more people, so it was more fun. That movie was fucking great. I've seen that movie like 7 times. I think I saw John Wick 2 like 4 or 5. And I've seen John Wick 3 twice, so I need to pick up on that. I need to watch it at least one more time. Anyway, number 8, Godzilla King of the Monsters, dropped 56%. It passed finally $100 million, but that is definitely a bomb, or a disappointment at the very least. But at $366 million worldwide on a $170 million budget, I don't know. It might make like Alita Battle Angel money. So if that wasn't considered a financial bomb or disappointment, then maybe this one is going to be okay. Because Alita Battle Angel made $400 million worldwide, and Godzilla is looking like it's probably going to make around the same. I don't know. I'm really worried about the future of Godzilla right now. Because, I mean, I like King of the Monsters and all the Godzilla stuff I really like. But, yeah. Number 9 is Anna, which is that movie that nobody remembers. It's the Luc Besson directed one where it's about a model. It's not actually about a model. I shouldn't say that. I mean, I guess it kind of is, but not really if you see the movie. But the actress who plays Anna, this super badass KGB agent, assassin, I guess, is a model. She's actually a model in real life, and she was pretty good in that movie. I saw it, by the way, and it was a fun little movie for the most part. A lot of twists and turns, a little bit too many for its own good, but it's what you expect from Luc Besson. It's fun. It has some good action. It's well filmed, and it has good acting. I like Luke Evans, and I like Cillian Murphy. Is it pronounced Killian or Cillian? I think it's Killian. I'm gonna C. Murphy. I'm gonna call him C. Murphy. And Helen Mirren. I thought she was really good in it. And Sasha Luss is the actress, the model now actress. She was really good in it, actually. Number 10 is Dark Phoenix. That didn't do well. Third weekend, it already lost a lot of its theaters and dropped another 62%. It's at $60 million. I saw it. I didn't think it was terrible, but definitely wasn't that great. $232 million. That's barely more than its budget. It's only like $30 million more than its budget, which is fucking, that's a bomb. That's a unfortunate bomb. You done fucked up there. you done fucked up. That's a bad bomb. Shaft is now out of the top 10 already. Dropped 60%. Nobody cares. Late Night, that dropped out. Avengers Endgame, that might be actually in the top 10 next week. It left the top 10 finally, but it might actually come back next week when it gets its re-release. The Dead Don't Die. I still want to see that. Some other stuff. Booksmart. Yeah, the top 20 is relatively whatever. What's Pavarotti? It's a Ron Howard movie. Okay. Sorry for me using a picture here. For some reason, I couldn't get my my window capture to work, so I couldn't actually use the site itself. So I had to get a screenshot. So I apologize if I'm clicking around and looking at stuff. I'm trying to vocalize what I'm seeing, but whatever. Anyway, that's it. So that's it. Toy Story 4 should have did better. I'm not gonna lie. I really wish it did the best of any animated movie ever, but 120 is still fantastic. Don't get me wrong, that's should not be considered a bomb at all. So I don't think Disney's considering it a bomb. I'm sure Disney was expecting it to do better, but hopefully that means next week it's going to do even better. Not that it's going to make more than 120 next weekend, but like 70 million next weekend or something like that. It's just going to drop slowly. That would be nice. Please let it happen. Please, I want it to be number fucking 1 forever. Animated film. It's not gonna happen, but it would be nice. It would be very nice. So anyway, that's Toy Story 4. That's the box office. Child's Play did okay too, considering its $10 million budget, and Anna bombed. So there you go. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Until next time, I'll see you later. Goodbye.